Hey guys, and welcome back to Let's Talk. So a big chunk of this video is basically hype for a game that I've been waiting for a very long time. Also, the gameplay in the background will be that game series, so forgive me because I haven't played it in a bit, and there's a bunch, it's like a beat 'em up, so I don't know the combos. I'm awful in the gameplay, I imagine, but who knows? Maybe I pop off in some way. I don't know. But we're gonna transition to that in a little bit. But right now, I want to talk about two things really. One, it's the state of YouTube, which we'll get into towards the end, not right in the beginning. But then the other one is something that's it's something that I tried a while back, and a lot of you guys know exactly where I'm going with this. But it's something that I did a while back, is I gave actually Twitch live streams and all that a kind of a fair shake, except not really. I didn't really give it a fair shake. I kind of just tried it out. There's a bunch of reasons why I didn't do it or didn't continue doing it. One is I always kind of like what YouTube is and what it offers to a certain extent. Like, I get to customize an experience for you guys. I think that's awesome. I get to like maintenance the bullshit so you guys only really get the good stuff, and that's really, really cool to me. So that's kind of why I kind of shied away from it, is because I tried doing it. I did okay, I think. I interacted with my chat consistently. I tried to play the game. I played the game okay. I didn't just buckle. I was able to manage both things with some degree, so I was able to do it. But to me, it was kind of, again, I just really like the fact that YouTube allows me to edit and maintenance the experience. But then again, Twitch offers something entirely different. It offers you a direct connection to your audience at the exact given moment when something is happening. So I understand why people enjoy that. On a side note, I watch a ton of Twitch, mostly Destiny creators, just because I feel like it's a good game in the background to watch, you know what I mean? Like, a lot of people try to Twitch every game, make every game like a live streaming game, which I don't think is really a good idea. I think there's certain games that are exceptionally good for live streaming. Destiny, I think, is one of those games, is because it's just kind of noise in the background, but it's also interesting. So you can kind of do a bunch of shit, but also communicate with your audience. It's kind of like a nice balance. Anyways, back to what I was saying. I gave Twitch a try, and again, I liked it because it was that direct connection with the audience, with your audience, but there was a few issues. The issues I ran into, which were ones I knew were personal problems with me. Like, one of the things is you guys may not be able to see it, maybe you do, but I get hyper nervous when I buckle. So you know when someone's falling, it's basically like someone trying to grab shit and like never falling down, and they're just grabbing everything on their way down to not fall. I do this quite a bit, except how this looks like is I say a word and then I immediately say it like 3 times and I'm like, dang it, okay, boom. Like, I'm not gonna show it because it's hella awkward, but I literally sit here and be like, hey guys, what's going on? Hey guys, okay, I'll do that, the intro. I'll do the introing segment like 4 times because I want a good one that seems not forced in a sense, which is weird because I'm kind of forcing it. It's weird. Which also, in my credit, could be argued that I'm doing my best to make sure, again, I'm customizing, I'm showing you guys something like a better version by my standards of what I'm creating. So there's that. You can look at it from a bunch of different ways. God help me, I'm not sure which one you do look at it from, but so yeah, that was one of the problems I came into contact with, is that I kept I messed up on saying something, or I started to slur my words, and I got kind of like in my head about it, which I know you guys are like, well, just who cares? I get the motivational pep talk that you guys are probably yelling at me, but even though you say that, it's still something that's in my head, right? It's not something I can just shut off. I like to perfect things, not necessarily just like fall down them, you know what I mean? So that was one of the issues I had, is I constantly tried to say something, and then it would like, I'd mess up the word, I'd say something wrong, or I wouldn't get my point across properly, and I'd be like, fuck, how do I fix this? And in my head was going 1,000 miles per hour. Whereas in YouTube video, I could just pause, okay, and I would explain my point, which is you can't really do in a live stream because it's just hella awkward. So that was one of the issues. The other one is I told you guys I have like a messed up school situation, right? Like, where it's just a bad time. All I can say is it was just not the greatest time. So I'm not the best at reading at all. So it takes me a bit to get through some things, especially again when there is pressure on you to read like at a decent pace, because there's the game going on, there's the chat moving, there's other people that are commenting things that are important, there's 3 different conversations you're having at once, so it's a bit on top of just reading. So that was something I found kind of challenging, and give and take, completely aware that you could just get used to that, right? Like if you just give it a minute, you keep going back into that experience, you're eventually going to figure out how to swim instead of sink. But again, the main reason why I kind of shied away from Twitch, or I did it twice and I was like, this is cool, but I kind of prefer YouTube, was because, again, I liked that customized experience that I was able to give to you guys. Now, the reason why we're talking about this, well, first let's talk about the YouTube thing. I was gonna leave it to the end of the video, but I think I'll leave that. I want to talk about Darksiders 3 towards the end. Anyways, by the way, that's the game series. Probably should have mentioned it. It was not like a big surprise. The thumbnail might even be that. I don't know. I heard something recently from one of the podcasts I listened to, and they were talking about something that they said and I immediately agreed with, and I never really thought about it, but they basically were talking about how YouTube has always kind of never wanted to be about gaming as much as it was pushed on to it as a gaming site. Like when you think of YouTube, you think of video clips, goofy videos, but like you cannot deny 50% or more got taken by Let's Plays, Minecraft, PewDiePie, all this other gaming scary video. Like it just got dominated by video games, Let's Plays, and all the like. And that's also why there was a big copyright stuff, is because a lot of that had to do with video games. Not so much anymore, because almost every developer gets it and allows that. But anyways, YouTube, it seems like for the longest time, has never really wanted video games to be their main focus, at least. It takes up such a giant majority of the site. I think majority. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't see the analytics, but when it just comes to videos, I definitely see the gaming takes a high toll on that. And again, YouTube has never really has never really been like, yeah, fuck yeah, we'll do that. Even the way it promotes certain things is a bit weird. Don't get me wrong, some of the analytics definitely play into like gaming content, when you uploading daily videos, which if you do gaming, it could be fairly easy depending on the gaming video you do, but regardless, it kind of plays into it in that sense. But still, you can back up and look at any video game, and even I think now, a lot of the videos that are getting flagged and taken down are things like referencing World War whatever. I'm not sure if Blood and Mayhem, I don't think they count that as that, but even now, the restrictions on ads and all the like, they're all having to do with stuff that it seems very much kind of like video games are a part of that category, that not okay niche. And honestly, I'm not even surprised at that, and that's the sad thing, is that I don't when I think of YouTube, I've never really thought of them as being yep, we're the gaming site. They've always tried to be it sounds weird, but a news channel, not a news channel, but a news network, not news, TV-worthy, space, broadcaster. So video games and you swearing off your ass is not exactly part of the thing that they want. But then you have someone like Twitch, who is almost, this is exactly what the person said, almost unapologetically that. They know they are a gaming site, they know that's where they're a giant, almost 90% of their audience is, and they are unapologetically that. They're yep, this is who we are, we're gonna listen to our creators, we're gonna implement all these things. Yes, we do really fucking dumb shit, ban our people for nothing, but... yeah, again, it's almost whenever someone does get banned, it seems like it's for not the gaming portion of the video, you know what I mean? Don't get me wrong, there are games you cannot play on Twitch, which is their right. It's their platform, right? Same as it's YouTube's, but my point is that, again, when you think of Twitch, you think of gaming. It's the main thing it does, and it doesn't seem like it is bad about that at all. It seems like it's very much yep, yep, we're a gaming site, whereas YouTube doesn't seem that way. And the reason why I want to talk about YouTube as well is because I started doing stuff at the worst possible time. I must look like the most bastard of a person ever, because the minute that I've always in the past, if you looked I think it's almost half a year ago, I talked to you guys if you'd ever consider, I think it was right around the Division. I talked to you guys right about if you guys would consider giving me anything, because YouTube wasn't really picking up, especially back then. I was kind of like, I don't know how to justify this to my parents or to myself, really. I love it, but like it's not, the amount of time I'm putting into it doesn't really make the most sense, and I was panicking, so I came up with a video very nervously asking you guys if you'd ever consider supporting me. And I never went through with, like, launching a Patreon, but you guys said you would, and I was blown away by that, and almost so much that I didn't want to do it because of that reason, because it's like, holy shit, you guys are so nice, you shouldn't have to pay me, I'm just gonna make these videos, and etc. But what I'm getting at is right around the precipice of around the time everybody started making Patreons and all this other stuff, I also did it. So it almost looked like I was jumping on the bandwagon, even though I've talked to you guys about that in the past a bunch. And now I wanted to make this video talking to you guys about Twitch.tv, but now it looks sketchy because everyone else is also going to Twitch, because again, YouTube is shitty right now. But that's honestly, I've never gotten a lot of money from YouTube at all, so I don't, like, as much as people are like, God, Jesus Christ, I'm like, I don't make that much at all. Move on. But that's kind of where I'm at with that. It looks really bad, and I'm very aware of the way it looks. Maybe you guys don't perceive it that way. In that case, awesome. It's just me in my head. But to me, it definitely kind of comes across as like, man, this guy's abandoning ship just like everybody else. And I'm like, nah, man. I've always thought about doing this. And to summarize everything, I'm thinking about going to Twitch, as everyone else is, of course, and that's why I'm kind of like, ugh, it's because, again, I'm just like a sheep following the herd. But it's not the case. Again, I've always wanted to do Twitch. I've done it before. Again, if I am going to do it, and I don't know, again, this is more like the podcast thing, like where I'm just throwing the idea out there for you guys and seeing what you guys think and whatever have you. Because the type of videos I make honestly look like they're from Twitch. Like, I've gotten plenty of comments throughout the years being like, hey man, where's your live stream link? And I'm like, this wasn't a live stream link. I'm just floating in the corner because I think Facecam is an addition to the video, because it shows your expressions as well as allows you to like look at the camera and directly, I guess, focal point an emotion to your audience. I'm not sure if that made sense. And also, one of the reasons, give credit where credit's due, the person I was talking to a while back, I told you guys that I was talking to one of my friends from high school a while back, and they were like, hey, do Twitch.tv, and I'm like, I did it before, and I will, but like, there was some issues, so let me talk to you guys about those issues, and maybe you guys can be like, well, again, I think I can convince myself of just being like, the issues are there because it's your first fucking time there. Like, again, the idea that you can't really keep up with the chat is fine. That's an issue that you will get better at, as well as the nervousness of being broadcasted live also can go away. So again, it's just shit that I gotta be like, stop being a puss, me. That's I don't mean to be that guy, but recently I've been like analyzing my words really heavily, and that's kind of a negative connotation, like, hey pussy, or something like that, where it like innately is like weakness or something like that. It's like, well, that's kind of a little bit, yeah, I don't mean to be like a feminist or a social justice warrior, but like, it kind of seems like, maybe not. Maybe say something else. Maybe just be like, toughen up, boom, good enough. Doesn't like shit on anybody or imply somebody else is weak because they are a certain gender. Okay, yeah. Is that I don't know. I'm so, the fucking, our society about that topic is so fucked that it's hard to take a side, because each side is just noise. But I understand some of the noise as well. But most of it is just like, it's just like, shut up. I made you all hate me. I don't know. But basically Twitch. I want to give it a try again. The one thing also is that's an issue is I wanted to do it, but I have a good internet speed coming in but not going out. So there's two types. I'm not sure what it is, if it's like your ping leaving, but Twitch requires a lot of out, like a lot of your connection being broadcasted through the internet opposed to pulling stuff in, data in. So I'm not sure if I'm gonna have the most HD streams. Yeah, I already have OBS, so I already have all the equipment. Like I said, I tried it before. I got nervous, and I also preferred YouTube, and I also was worried that I was gonna fuck it up. So those were my issues, which is completely like, no shit, that's a mental state. But bottom line, let's end the conversation and just say that I'm thinking about jumping over to Twitch, and I'm not sure when it will be. A part of me wants to do it with Let It Die, like just stream fucking around farming on the Tower of Barbs. If you guys want to come hang out, you can. Maybe you're also farming, that kind of thing. But then the two games I'm like massively consider doing that for is Destiny 2. That's already, like, to me, that's one of the best streaming games, because that's a game I watch people stream, and I just think it's a very good game to have in the background of just listening to people talk. As those are always stuff to talk about within the community and etc. It's just a very community-oriented game, therefore it brings in a lot of the audience as well, so it's kind of like a smart thing as well as a stable game to play. But then the other one is Borderlands 2, whenever it comes out. That was also the other game I watched tons of live streams of. It's actually the first game that got me into watching live streams. But yeah, who knows? Again, maybe my internet connection can't even support the lowest quality of streams. So that's a mess. Maybe. Also, I do a lot of stuff with audio stuff, so maybe my mic sounds extremely shit. I don't know. There's tons of reasons it could be bad. But I guess that's kind of life, yeah? It's just tons of shit that can go horribly wrong, but that's the point. You're supposed to handle those at face value and then move forward with whatever problems are, adapting to whatever situation you're in. To just hide from a situation is stupid. Me, stupid. Anyways, don't mean to motivationally pop myself up in the middle of a video. I want to do it, and I think I am. I'll definitely probably will wait a little bit, make sure I have everything revving to go before I'm like, hey guys, come and watch my live stream. It'll probably be the next Let's Talk if I end up going through with it. But then again, I might just wait until Destiny 2, or I might just start with Let It Die. I don't know. But the video that I'm going to show you guys is already pretty long because I made a little clip. But first, Darksiders 3 has just been it was announced a bit ago, but it's a game series I've loved to tears. It's a game you're watching in the corner wherever, and I'm super hyped about it. I'm going to cut to when I was at the peak amount of hype, blabbering about how I'm revving to go with the female protagonist and how she looks like a badass character, strong as shit kind of deal, whatever. Transition to me having a god ray shoot out on my head because my light wasn't diffused. Anyways, the transition to me in the hype stage. Okay, so I'm not sure where I'm going to increment this. Also, yes, well, hopefully I crop myself out so you guys can't see too much of the background, although God's above me because it's just super bright. Because my green screen, who cares? What we're talking about right now is, I just got news today, and I wasn't sure about it until they released a trailer that I seen on IGN, and I was like, oh my god, it's happening. It's actually happening. So what is happening, you might be asking? Essentially, Darksiders 3 is a thing. So if you guys have never played Darksiders 1 or 2, it's a whole series of games that plays off the 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse. Except the one thing I love to tears that they do in games, or in any medium, movies, whatever, is they show you a non-horrifying side of something horrified, innately, usually. So again, for instance, one of my favorite games of all time is The Darkness 2, or The Darkness, they're just a series of games. It shows you this horrible, horrifying creature that's like the shit you'd find under your bed when you're a kid, but you can command it and use it and all that crazy shit. And it's just a different perspective for it all, and it ends up making you feel like a powerhouse, and it's just this weird changing of perspectives that makes it kind of welcome. So in movies, it could be a werewolf movie without the werewolf killing everybody in the end. You know what I mean? It's showing it from his perspective, and it kind of just changing that momentum. This game is the same thing there. It takes these 4 apocalyptic things and allows you to control them. And the first game was War. We controlled War, this giant fucking hulking dude who carried a sword that was basically his size, and just whipped it around and destroyed the world. There's a bunch of lore and the story and all that other stuff that I'm not going to spoil, but the one that I got introduced to this series because I didn't really want to play the first one. It was kind of linear and just kind of through the paces. I don't really like that. This is maybe weird, but I actually have a curiosity with one character, which is the Grim Reaper. Okay, yes, weird, but it's what it is. I've always found that character to be extremely intriguing. So naturally, I seen this game and I was like, holy fuck, we get to play as the girl. Fuck yeah, let's play. So I went and jumped onto it, and then found out it was a much bigger thing. So then I went deep diving into like some of the information, the story of the first game, and then I played number 2. Loved it to tears. Loved the weird art style that's just beautiful beyond belief. Like it's if you haven't played the Darksiders 2, it is beyond a pretty game. I have it on PC and I maxed out the settings, and looks like it could have come out today and it would have been okay. So yeah, in Darksiders 2, we're actually playing the Grim Reaper. Or Death. He's the other apocalyptic horseman. So we're playing this different character entirely. Like we're used to playing in the Darksiders 1, this heavy brute, and now we're fighting with this super agile, light, can summon things from the dead and wreck shop kind of character. It's kind of like a glass cannon. And it's super weird, that change of pace. Which is why I think some people think that the first game is the best, but then the second game isn't. When I personally think the second game is my like the one I would choose, because I like playing like glass cannons, and I like the story, I like the character, I like the voice actor, I like the worlds that he goes to, etc. But this may sound shitty, and I don't really want to say it, but to me, I'm not one of those people that plays like Mass Effect, for instance. We're not playing a female, we're playing a dude, because I am a dude, and that's like, to a certain extent, I like role-playing, I guess, to a certain extent, like, you know, putting yourself in that situation and, you know, going onward. And yeah, I also, this may sound weird, but I don't really like hearing it either. Like, if a dude gets the shit kicked out of him, like the dude I'm playing gets the shit kicked out of him, I'm like, come on, dude, we got this. When it's a girl, because I have tried doing like Let's Plays of Saints Row with female, and I can't really, and I know it's fucked up, probably, it's like some sort of weird, like, you shouldn't feel this way, but I don't like it because it makes me feel like, oh god, I'm so sorry, you shouldn't have got shot by that bullet, you screamed, I get that weird sense. So I'm not really like completely in to female characters. It's unnerving for me when they're when they're like, oh god, I'm bleeding to death, and I'm like, I don't know, I'm so sorry. That's shitty, but that's kind of how my brain operates sometimes. So even the Horizon Zero Dawn, I think their female lead for that character is awesome. Like again, Aloy is rarely like, oh god, help me. She's like a badass. But what I'm getting at is usually when I see like a female protagonist, I usually will be like, dang, I wish I could have played a dude, because I identify as a dude and I want to play that gender. Now, having seen Darksiders 3, the main protagonist is, oh, what is it? I should know this. I watched like the trailer 10 times. Is it Pestilence? I don't fucking know. Shit. Is it Fury? I think it's Fury. Yeah, it's Fury. So I seen the trailer of that, and again I was like, oh, we knew it was a girl. We knew that one of the apocalyptic horsemen is a female. So I watched it and I seen it, and I was just like, okay, you know, I'm in. Like, I really could not see this character being anything else, because she looks fucking insane. Like, she's got this flowing red hair that's like soulish. You know what I mean? It's not like gravity doesn't give a shit, and it's also looks like it's air. You know what I mean? So it's just super crazy, and it's one of those first times where I've seen, you know, a female protagonist, and I was just like, fuck yeah, like I'm gonna enjoy playing that, because she looks just beyond badass. She looks like she could get like hit 10 times and not make a sound and be like, please bring it on, bitch. And I'm like, oh yeah, fuck it, go in. Go in. Which I don't know, maybe that's a weird thing. Again, I know someone probably is gonna be like, that's some sort of like gender double standard. But to me, it's just like, it's always kind of been the way I reacted. It's not like I think any less. But yeah, Darksiders 3, we're playing this badass person who controls a whip. So again, it's like a different gameplay. So each game drastically changes the gameplay in itself. So again, we play like a brute swordsman, that guy. Then we play Death, which is an agile glass cannon, and now we're playing a mage. So she's like a mixture of a warrior and a mage. Also she's Fury. Like she's, oh shit, it's gonna get insane. So I'm massively like waiting for this, and I'm hyped. I'm massively hyped. I rarely get like all in about this when it comes to a game, especially it being so far off. I usually will just like level my expectations, but again, this is up there for one of those game series that I thought were done. Like I thought they took their last breath a long time ago, because they kind of just came and went, and people played them, enjoyed them, but maybe the cost for the game was too much and it didn't make its money back, so no one's gonna make more of them. maybe it's like The Darkness 2, which it has like a giant fan base, but the reviews are awful, so then the developers are like, nah, we're not going to do it unless, and we're not going to do it for a while, etc. Those kinds of things. So it's one of those series I definitely thought was just like down for the count, but no. They're like, hey, we're doing it, and I'm like, sweet, it's going to come out a fucking long time from now, but hey, I'm ready to play it, I'm ready to experience it, so again, could not be more happy that it's happening. And yeah, I'm just kind of excited. I want to talk about it because it looks fucking crazy cool. And again, Fury looks like beyond badass. And I don't know, I guess it's really cool because to me, like Aloy was from Horizon Zero Dawn, Aloy was such a breath of fresh air because again, she like never flinched, and that was really cool because a lot of times in games, women are depicted as kind of like these fragile things, these like super delicate, oh god please, kind of things. But this character, her name is Fury. Like her whole makeup of who she is Fury. Like is this relentless powerhouse, and I'm like, hell yeah, like that's a woman that's like beyond, she doesn't need a hand in the slightest, like she will fucking annihilate you kind of thing, which to me is why I think I'm so like, I'm actually excited to be playing not a dude character, because not that I'm going to identify with her, but because again, she looks like she can kick ass like nobody's business, and again, she doesn't look like, this is debatable, I suppose, and honestly, I don't really care. Maybe that's messed up because I don't know, but like what I was gonna say is I don't really care when women are like dressed up in kind of like slutty armor or whatever. The only reason I don't care is because almost always the dudes are shredded to shit, so it's equally as unfair or as equally as non-representative as of the whole. So I mean, I'm never like fuck that, because it's like, well, it's supposed to be a fantasy land. It's supposed to be a land where the impossible could exist, or the best things could exist. But from what I've seen, she isn't like crazy like that. She, for the most part, again, she's covered in armor. She looks like she's fucking roided out like crazy. Not strong, mind you, but like her armor has spikes and shit. Her eyes are like hollow. It's just like, holy fuck, holy shit. Yeah, I don't know. Again, it's weird because every time I see like a female character in a game, I'm like, cool, good. It won't be the thing I'm playing, not because I think that they shouldn't exist there or whatever the hell have you, but just because of the fact that, again, I like to play as a dude. But in this instance, it's different, which I thought was really good, as like, again, she looks like a fucking badass. And that's, to me, in some games, they don't really do a good job of like showing that. Hence why, like in Mass Effect 2, I think it is, Jax, even though the character is a mean asshole, she is one of like she doesn't need a goddamn thing from you. there's that kind of like, she's a badass kind of mentality, which is why she's one of my favorite characters, is because again, going through games, you don't typically get that, and that's why that character to me like lasts in my head, is because it's like, holy shit, like you're fucking insane. Like you are not what I've seen depicted in most games I've experienced, which I'm not sure if that's like what's, I'm sure a fucking psycho-feminist is gonna be like, she's being fucking slutified by that armor. It's like, well, the fucking, what do you call it, death was shredded beyond belief, so what do you want? I don't know, I'm not trying to start anything, I just want to bring you guys this information if you haven't already seen it, and if you haven't even checked out the Darksiders series, I would definitely consider, checking them out. They're probably pretty cheap around this point. Yeah, anyways, I just want to quickly make this video because I was excited, and I wanted to kind of like show you guys I was excited, and hopefully if you guys are excited, you can get excited with me and it's the whole thing. Also, I'm sorry my room is like this, like, it's not the best. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching as always. I might transition. I think I will. Probably still some more stuff to talk about in the normal Let's Talk. But yeah, boom. Okay, so if I'm not mistaken, I went on about me loving the character, me thinking that, again, she's not like the traditional female protagonist where she is kind of like, save me, which is not bad by any sense. But to me, again, like one of the most notable female characters in any video game for me is a character that I didn't expect or see. I shouldn't say expect, but I haven't seen that type of character. That character, again, I think I mentioned it, is in Mass Effect 2. There's a character called Jack, and she's just like covered in tattoos. She's bald. She's just mean as shit. But she's also like, she's the last person in the entire galaxy because of the game. Didn't mean to explain the joke. She's the last person in the galaxy that would ever ask for help and like ever need help almost. Like she's just that very much like, you fuck off me right now, I can handle this. And it's like, okay, like you would always ask her for help, never the other way around. So it was that kind of mentality of just like this insanely independent boss of a character. I spat on my camera because I'm disgusting. I am sorry. Main point is that, again, she's like this just, again, every time in like Disney films, whatever you want, the women are oftentimes portrayed as very like fragile and etc. and like the princess type, not the I need her. It's not the other way around. Like, that to me was very, very different. I like that. And this Darksiders character reminds me of that. Also, she's named Fury. Also, Jesus Christ. Like, again, she's got a whip and shit. There's probably some sort of weird fetish there. That's not why I'm there. I'm just there because, again, she looks like a complete badass. Moving on, but I will say I have a couple issues. I'm currently reading. I didn't even know this. I played all the games. I'm not sure. I have not played the first one. I've watched a Let's Play of it because I wasn't really good at beat 'em up games for the longest time, especially when I was younger. Mostly because I was kind of annoyed at my hands because I was like, oh, I can't get to the buttons fast enough because my hands are kind of fucked up, so I couldn't get to the buttons fast enough. So I kind of was shying away from them. So I always watched Let's Plays. But regardless, I experienced the games and their stories. But I had no idea that there was comic books of them. So what I ended up doing is I ended up going and just reading some of the comic book Darksiders book, I guess. And I'm kind of annoyed because if I'm not mistaken, I ended up reading this comment which pointed this out, and I'm imagining I'm going to get to it eventually when I finish the comic book. But apparently they've said in the promotional trailer or something that Fury is the strongest of the four horsemen. Because if you don't know Darksiders, you're essentially each game, the main protagonist is one of the four horsemen of the apocalypse. Kind of Fury and Strife took the places of two other horsemen, but they're whatever, war and death or whatever the hell is still one of the things. Moving on, but yeah, they said that Fury is the strongest of the horsemen. But in the comic book, that's not true at all. It goes, Death is the strongest of the fourth horseman, the guy you guys are seeing be played right now, and then it's War, and then it's Fury, and then it's Strife. Little old Strife, the one guy who I really want to play, but apparently he's a little bitch, so whatever. But what do you call it? The reason why that bracket of strength is there is because Fury got in a fight with War, who's the second strongest, and War kicked the shit out of Fury. Apparently, again, I read a comment that said this. Kicked the shit out of Fury, and then Death, the strongest, had to pop in and save her. So the fact that they're like changing that lore up again, completely fine if she is the strongest, but it's already set in like the lore of it that it isn't, and I don't mean to be that guy, but also it makes sense. Like Death, he has every, what are they called, Nephilim? Nephilim, essentially a mixture of a demon and an angel put together. They're the fourth horseman's races. They're all Nephilim. They killed all their brethren and etc. And Death in the second game actually gets all of them inside him, so that makes him like a crazy stronger. So you're already taking a guy who in the lore is strong as shit, and now he has like, I think it's like 300 dead Nephilim, which is a very powerful angel demon race or whatever. Inside of him, it makes him like, it would make sense that he is the strongest as well. I feel like I'm one of those Star Wars guys like, Darth Vader could destroy Han, some stupid shit. Anyways, also to me it makes sense because Death is, to me, by far the most mentally balanced, I suppose, in what he believes. Like, again, just by the trailer, we can kind of garner that Fury is Fury. She's a bit angry and a bit, what do you call it? She's not very, like, footed into her belief, it seems. And same thing with War. War just wants carnage and blood. Then again, his character is different. But anyways, we don't know anything about Strife, so I can't comment on him. But Death in the second game is extremely grounded and like calm and very like at peace with what he believes, and will go forward with that. Whereas with War and with Fury, with a little we've seen of Fury, it doesn't really seem like they're that. So to me, it makes sense that him, Death, the strongest, aka kind of the leader of the group, it would make sense that the most grounded, the most set into what he believes would be the one that would be the strongest, I guess, or the general, or the one that leads. At least to me, I don't know. I don't think you'd want a commander that's like, kill everyone. You'd want a commander that's like, all right, well, we should go about this way because of X, Y, and Z, and etc. Instead of someone being like, blood. It's like, you need to calm down. But yeah, I was a bit like, dang it, because to me it's also Death by far is my favorite of the four horsemen. Even Strife is probably my second. Strife looks fucking cool. He's got like guns and stuff. Anyways, by far he's my favorite. So again, one, for like fanboyism, I want him to remain the strongest. But two, I kind of like that story of him being the kind of the big brother of the entire group, so to speak. Because again, it seems like he is also tasked with taking the burden of what they did. Which, if you don't know, the lore of the game is, there's like this demon society group underneath the underground, and Nephilim are like a mixture of demon and angel, and if I'm not misremembering, they were killing humans. So then they, the four horsemen that were like the strongest, grouped up together and killed their entire race, because again, I think they were fighting the humans or something like that. And Death has the burden of, at the first start of Darksiders 2, he has the burden of hanging on to those souls, or he has now. He didn't beforehand, but because he pushed it on some old guy, and this old guy is like, fuck that, and eventually gave it back to him. So now he has the burden of all the people that he's killed and etc. Also, he's the fucking harbinger of death. It makes sense that he would be the strongest. I'm not like the good dude who fucking guards the makes sense. That guy is the one who's like, hey, boom, just some crazy shit. Anyways, I didn't mean to get on a tangent about that. But needless to say, I am massively excited for Darksiders 3. Yep, it's 3. I'm sorry. I should have known that. But also, again, mad excited to actually play a female protagonist. Again, I usually play male characters in any optional game. And again, I just think it's cool to see a female protagonist portrayed as like, doesn't need anybody's help. Which is interesting, because again, almost every game does that, which is not bad. It's okay to ask for help, for sure. But, anyways, are you guys as excited about Darksiders 2 as I am, or am I just a little old fanboy alone in the woods? Maybe. It's up there for one of the games I wanted a sequel for so badly. Contenders for that, or Shadows of the Damned 2, I really want that. The Darkness 3, you guys may know I made a video about like going on about that. And Fable 4, because I really just love Fable a lot. And I bet there's one I'm forgetting. But anyways, guys, that's gonna bring us to the end of the video. This was probably lengthy because again, I have to make up for that other video. I have to also squeeze into this one. Regardless, again, if you have any thoughts about Darksiders, I want to talk about it. And if I am horrible at the lore, then apologies. It's been a bit since I've went deep into that. I'm reignited with the love for the series, so I'm reading that comic book that I was talking about. It looks cool. And yeah, the whole live streaming is a thing. The whole YouTube kind of not shunning, but never really taking ownership of like being a gaming platform, or not platform, but like a gaming viewing platform. At least not to the extent that Twitch has kind of done it. Yeah, I'm thinking about doing Twitch. I've already mentioned that. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I wanted to get into some comments. Maybe we can. Nah, the video, especially considering I have to get into that one thing. I'll reply to some comments on the last Let's Talk. Yeah. Oh, this is really nice. Somebody says, on my last Let's Talk, I like people like you. You've been on YouTube for a while and growing slowly. No offense. Yet you still edit and upload. Usually people just give up, and you're still going. Even after the ad crisis. Again, I don't really get a lot of money from ads, so especially considering my videos are fucking like 40 minutes, and I don't really like spam ads at you guys. I think when it's 40 minutes, I put like 3 on there. And most people use ad block, so it's like that mentality. But still, I appreciate that immensely. I wouldn't, yeah, a while. 4 years is a while. I was about to be like, it's not. I haven't been on here for that long, but 4 years is a while. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Somebody also says, coming home to your videos is the best part of my day. You need to stop, because I'll start crying on you. So just calm down, not on you, because we can't actually. You're not near me, but you get it. Thanks, man. Appreciate that. That's actually really cool because, again, I went through a bit of a shitty part in life, as everyone does. Don't mean to be a snowflake on you, but YouTube videos definitely were that for me. We're definitely like the breathing period amongst the shit, which is pretty cool that I could maybe do that for somebody else. Anyways, dude, your stuff might not blow up given the amount of Let's Players out there. Your stuff is great, man. Huh. Sorry, my voice came out a little bit. You make people's days. You give people something to watch, and someone with a great personality to watch. Be proud of your stuff, even if it's only 5 views. Keep up the good work, dude. Yeah, Well, first of all, immensely kind. I'm not sure if I'm worthy of any of that praise, but I'll do my damnedest to be. But I think that's my problem. I'm starting to realize that lately. Again, there's like a bunch of tips I could give a bunch of people about YouTube. One of the main things is don't compare yourself to others. But the other one is again, you need to be behind what you believe in. I heard a saying once that I really, really enjoyed. It may be a bit like for some people, but it said the right mindset can shake even heaven's doors. And I really, really like that, because to me, again, the power of the right like headspace and the right, was it mindset? I mean, it may not have been mindset. It might have been something else. The perspective? No, wasn't that? I think it was mindset. Essentially, like mindset. The right like a belief or thought or whatever the hell can do the impossible. It can change the world to a certain extent. So that to me is really cool as like a saying, but also it kind of resonated with me. Maybe it didn't hit anything for you, but to me it really hit, because again, it takes a bit to really believe in what you're doing, and that's something that I think I gotta get better at. Is like, again, like you said, even if it gets 5 views, and again, like I said, I'd still be making these videos even if I got 0 views, but to me it's like, you should gain power, or you should gain confidence, whatever the hell it is that you want to gain, from even 1 view, from even one person giving you a chance. That should be enough to fuel you to make even better stuff. It shouldn't have to be like you have to gain something to give something. It should just be you can grow without needing something in return. It's kind of that weird mentality, except instead of what you're gaining is you building yourself up to a certain extent. Anyways, I don't mean to hang on to comments too much, because we got to get to it quite a bit. But anyways, appreciate your comment to no end. Oh, this is really nice. Comments are always coming in, and you can't reply to them all. Yeah. That's okay. You should take your free time however you want. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Again, I'm doing my best to get back in the comments, and again, it's awesome. It's like, not to be fucking vain, but it's very cool to see what you guys think and the tips you give me. People being great and being nice about Let It Die. Holy shit. Okay, I was seeing this in that corner of my eye, and I was trying not to react to it, but this is a big deal. This is a fucking big deal. Did he say something nice, or was he mean? Because I'm horrible at Let It Die. Let's see. Yeah, you can't reply to all comments every time. That is the truth. If you upload more videos on a day and you reply to every comment, you will go crazy if you answer them all. Yeah. Keep up the good work, and also stick to Let It Die. Okay, so this is why I'm freaking out. This fucking guy who commented, I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name, is Katunikasi. I'm so sorry. But this person helped me get to the top of the tower. Essentially on YouTube, I was typing in I think I got to his channel around figuring out how to kill jackals. It was one of those things where I just kept trying to figure out what the hell to do. Anyways, this person I'll link his channel in the description. If I do not, remind me, please. If you're having issues with Let It Die, he has a playlist of like, just basically like a video manual of how to do certain things, how to get black medals, how to farm red chests, how to get certain floors that are class specific. So many things, so many things. So that's awesome. I didn't even think he knew I existed. So that's actually really cool that I found his videos, was watching them, loving his videos, helping me out a ton, and he's like commenting on the video. That's really neat. It's really, really neat. Woo. We gotta pot. Oh, there's so many people that comment nice things though. I'm a piece of shit. I'll reply to them right now, but we gotta end the video. Needless to say, again, having any problems with Let It Die, I will link to his channel as well as the playlist for Let It Die. Just a bunch of stuff. I'm planning on making some guides for farming the events and whatnot, and also getting the Twirler fire wand. But in comparison, he's got all the good shit. So just go to him first. Anyways, moving on. I got one more thing to quickly answer because it's just right there. Again, a person says, any updates on getting the podcast going? Not really. Again, I talked about it as like a kind of like, would you guys be up for this? But as of getting people in seats and whatnot, it's been a bit weird. It's been a bit weird because I'm not all into it. So I'm like, it's not even the people that I'm wanting to do it with. It's just me. I'm also not like gun ho into it because again, I got Let It Die I'm trying to do quick. I got other videos I'm just trying to manage. So again, it's like I either take time away from that, which I don't ever want to do ever, and go to the podcast thing, or things just happen at a slower pace and it maybe happens one day. It would be cool to do. Again, it's the way things are falling into place. Not really happening as fast as it would be going. Anyways, one thing I dislike about Patreon is you can support someone. I feel sometimes supporting a creator puts pressure on the creator, especially one who is new to the site. Yeah, I guess. Again, I kind of have diverted that momentum a little bit. That it's always been like, hey guys, if you ever feel like you want to do something, it's there. I've never been like, I'm gonna stop making videos, because if that's the case, then absolutely, because you're like basically banking on someone forcibly supporting you in order to get something in return, which don't want to do. But yeah, I've kind of diverted that because it's like, it's there. If you want to help me, you can. That's it. So again, I've kind of taken away the like pressure of it a little bit by doing that, I think. Oh, maybe you're meaning the whole reward system. Again, the reason why I also diverted momentum in that sense is that I kind of was, the way I justified it was, you guys get my videos early. Blech. You guys get my videos early, and you guys can watch them at your own pace. But that is the only reward. I'm not gonna like do a Patreon only podcast, or that to me is where it gets weird, because you end up like, I don't know, making content for everyone is kind of where I'm always hopefully going to be at and hopefully going to be able to do. Yeah, again, like the one thing, if you do choose to support someone, I'm hoping that they format it like you're going to enable them to making videos for everybody, opposed to making it for just one tiny group of people. Yeah, anyways, like I don't like an exclusive club. I always don't want that. Anyways, we have to end it because, again, this video is probably well up to almost an hour if I continue, because, again, that one clip is going to be huge. Regardless, thank you guys so much for watching as always. My name is Logan Andor Frost. That has been a pretty big update with YouTube talk, with comments, with some comments. I want to do more of that next time. I don't even like texting friends because I prefer to talk to them on the phone, because it's just, like, you can misunderstand a text, whereas with my voice you can't. Hence why I like replying to some comments like this. And it's random. I'm not like specifically shooting for one type of comment. It's just like I go down a list, and if something is like neat, or if someone's being kind, I want to be like, hey, thanks. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching as always. My name is Logan Andor Frost. There'll be a subscribe button above me, as well as 2 videos to my right. If you guys support me here on YouTube and or on Patreon, it means the world to me. And expect better videos to come. Bye.